Av and Enka's going to opt to use a bunch of the chug splashes to get up the full and then dive right on in. Here they go. The fight is on. Tons of tags coming through for Av. Is he going to be able to clean up both, as Enka's will end up ultimately finding some of it there above, but boom, there it is. Will get the cleanup. Like I said, it looks like he's about to get it. Tahi holding on for as long as he could there, but ultimately grass slipped and he will go down. As we see Zypha and Spexy, I mean, Storm Surge plus the storm itself is a tough time, and for a duo who had so many elims last game, Monster, see them struggle that horribly with Storm Surge. It's very interesting.
That's what happens. You have such a great pop-off game. You want to slow down, play a little more consistent, and instead it comes around, stings you with the Venom right there. The most impressive thing I'd say about this NQ's fight here is the fact that he actually saved AV before the full finish. That's a rare occurrence in a 2v2 kind of fight like that, especially when your teammate is down inside the enemy's box and behind those walls. So huge save there, guys. Don't overlook the fact that this might just keep them in the game and turn this into a huge round for them now.
This is something I love seeing as well. Utilizing the Fireflies, because why not? Generally, you won't hold them this long, but if you look at where the zone is, there's so much stuff that is flammable, right? Like, all of this can be lit on fire, and that it will be a nuisance, and it will clear sightlines for you. So now you can see, Cease can see pretty much everything around him, and if he wants to shoot at it, he has that sniper rifle, which a number of times we don't see it often now, but people will hold open edits a little longer than they should.
Yeah, and that's where the punishment comes in, and very rarely I feel like we've seen Sniper in play as well, and Cease just
almost
old school. It's like he kind of showing off his old school stripes here, holding on to a sniper shot. It's just like, feels like he's from a different time of Fortnite. You almost forget it even exists inside competitive at this point with how infrequently you see it at the highest levels. Look at Pamstu and Thatch's loadout. We want to talk about this. Peppers in hand, 5 armored walls. How do you get that many armored walls here? Well, they won't end up coming through on the supply drops. That's where they got the launch pads on that side, but just being able to filter down. And one thing to note too, despite the fact that they land in Greasy, they were able to force everyone out so early that they got that entire POI, and then they got what Shia loves to call the home zone. And that's when the zone drops directly on top of your drop spot. They haven't had to move this entire time, and in 5 seconds, I would argue, one of the most important zones in the game, the 4th zone, we'll see if it drops yet again right out. They're right on the edge of it, Monster. GG's. Works out very nicely for them. They don't have to move. Looks like everything is coming to them this game here. Not only was it the airdrop, this is about the location where the airdrop landed the original time, but now the zone as well, just kind of sharing this location. This is perfect for Slacks and Clarity. Just a masterful rotation right now. And not only that, finds himself some splashes on the way, so this is really good.
Yeah, and this is more about timing. You're thinking, wow, how are these guys just walking through? And it's recognizing which teams can shoot at you. And if there's a cone edit peeked out on the other side, you can just do this. They just walked right on up to Smack, and they were just like, hey, thanks for the priority position on the zone. You can keep that high ground over there. They don't really have an angle to shoot down on them, and they had to use, what, 10 builds total, and they're all right up against this side. So now they're going to be able to about face, and as you see on the right-hand side, there's still tons of triangles that have to move in towards that.
Yep, lots of more movement to be had here inside the lobby. Great angles here, and they have the full vision of the lobby here. Big sight lines available to them, and this is why you saw players like Cease trying to burn those trees down to really open up the field, give them all visual. It's those little pieces right there that's going to make the difference here. It's going to force players to burn way more material, because if there's a sight line blocking you, you're going to try to steal away as much as possible, as optimal as possible. And look, even now, Cease is still breaking trees here, quite literally, with the AR and SMG as well. So big plays for Cease, opening up the field. Of anything, I think he's supporting the rest of the lobby in helping find opponents to target.
Yeah, you know, good guys, Cease, just creating a little bit of room here, and those MK7s really are the benefits of those open sightlines, that red dot sight. These players are so absurdly accurate when aiming down sights and being able to find the advantage, but Cease now, just trying to find some more pressure. We're going to swing on over. Avery and Muzz, 188 above, so no reason to really overly peek. They're just trying to survey the land. But Monster, they've invested a lot of hard mats for the position they're in. On our bottom right-hand side, we have one of the duos who is underneath the pressure, trying to fight here for Surge on the low ground, and they're going to be forced to go. It is going to turn on in just 15 seconds.
Yeah, definitely. The only team above that we see on scene right now is Muzz and Avery. Not only above the surge, they're above the high ground as well here. They have big visual on the entirety of the lobby. It's their high ground of command right now. Their story to be told. On the low, though, Shicey has a player down into the box. He goes to 2v1, gets face checked by a couple SMGs, realizing now it's a big mistake. But hey, he's found the tags here, and at least that's going to keep him alive right now. Explosions coming through. Has to be careful, though. Doesn't switch over to those heavy materials. Aiden on the other side, taken out as well, alongside Blasto there. That's an explosive exit for them too. And now, who do we have left here? Sparebow, Solo, Pose just above them as well, trying to make do with the situation here. We have Chubbs here on screen.
At 3 eliminations for him and his duo, we can see just the one player who's below, Tragics and Skittles, trying to just out-heal it. Does have the med miss, which is a significant amount of time. It's 5 Storm Surge tanks you're able to do, but no one else is taking any action. There's no reason for them to move. But as 5th zone is revealed, Pamso and Fash got a max pull. Their luck ran out. The 4 leaves on their Clover, unfortunately, weren't watered enough, and we'll see if they're able to do it. As Tragics, though, he'll thank the lucky stars there as we finally have Spareboat go down, and Storm Surge will gracefully turn off.
I'm not gonna lie, having that med miss right there really made it feel like it lasts a long time. Like he had a lot of time to work with. I think grossly underrated, honestly. I never truly looked at the med miss as something that could, you know,
I love that thing.
Buy you so much time under that kind of pressure of Surge.
Yeah, I mean, Surge, last zone, whether you're someone like me who can't win a fight for the life of them the early in the mid game, so you need to storm camp the entire time. The fact that it is 15 seconds in the zone or it's 25 seconds negating Surge for a single slot just ends up being so valuable. And speaking of so valuable, Tragic saying, Launchpad boxed up on a bunch of pre-built full hard mats. I'll take this.
I mean, normally I'm a bit skeptical. I'm like, dude, you want to replace all that? Or it's like, no, we'll be okay. I'm waiting for the next zone to reveal itself. I'm just going to tuck myself far and away inside these builds here. Pamso and Fatch, the zone's going to pull far north now. They have the equal longest rotate to make here. Down an armored wall since the last time we checked in. Tells the story of a little pressure, maybe some fighting going down, but otherwise, still looking A-okay and healthy this game here. 44 points right now, still holding on to their 3rd place spot overall when it comes down to how much points they've earned coming out of game 1 and now rounding into the end of game 2 here. But this is it. This is where real Fortnite begins. This is where men are made on the Fortnite field. Avery and Muzz managed to maintain high ground this entire time, and they still have the damage. They still have the lead here to make a good play. They're going for it.
Yeah, it's the bottom left-hand side of your screen, making sure they find that recycled launch pad and being able to go through. Don't forget, Pamso and Batch did find a supply drop. They had 2 launch pads, used one earlier. Bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you have Slacks and Clarity. They're on the low ground towards the priority position on the zone. Currently, my eyes are towards that bottom left. Yep, let's go there. Avery and Muzz, that's their own launch pad. I believe that's their last investment. They're going up towards the high ground. They're going to land directly on top of it. Shots come in. Avery's going to be able to find his. Muzz also looks like he's being able to contest towards the high ground. Box to box, hip to hip, not quite able to find it. Avery pushing this other player out, has the 2 spray weapons, but completely out of medium ammo, so going to be reliant on the reload. Will get the siphon, still has the med miss as well, so even though there is the white HP ticket, it's not too much of a threat, as able to catch back up, and Muzz has that high gun as players are dropping like flies in the elim feed on your top left.
Big elims coming through here. Players getting bent left and right. Now, though, Muzz and Avery, looks like they have a little bit of a fight going on here. Little do they know, it's Tieko coming from the backside there. And for a second now, they have to give up the high ground. All that, they look in the wrong direction for just a moment. And you have this fresh duo. Tieko comes up. And all of a sudden, look at this. They are so situated up here. Now, though, for the low ground, big beams come through. And that's a punishment and a half. And oh no, where are these shotgun shots coming from? I can't even see it. I don't think Gold even knows where they're coming from. He's just getting clapped left and right here. It's Chubbs. Oh my gosh, the range shot there from the strikers just gonna come through, and the angles here from this elite duo is looking like they're setting themselves up for the win. Not only that, they actually picked up the material too, so everything's starting to connect here on the low ground. Pamso and Fatch looking for a 2v2 situation. It's Casker. They add them to the list. Down goes Smacked as well. And these are huge. Pick up 6 eliminations now, Sundown.
Amstow trying to make eventually right now. Match number 2 here in NA East. They will get the refresh over that body right there. Need to find an angle on the zone. Taking a little bit too much damage. Will go up a layer. Good change of level there from Amstow. And you can see he's got it ticking. He's feeling confident. The builds are there. 55. And he also looks up towards the high ground. He says, hey, how far away is it? Can we go up? They see it's just Chubbs up there. But as I say, that Scented Fan ends up going with them. Slacks cuts off just above him. Keep an eye on the left-hand side as well as the bottom right. Muzz and Avery are in a box trying to dive, making the stingers sing, but the rat-tat-tat is not finding enough as Avery gets rebuffed. Back now, you can see just a slight change in the elevation on the left-hand side. Teams are stuck at the bottom. Elite and C's trying to find a way around, but Ring Around the Rosie isn't paying off. Will they all end up falling down as still Chubbs and Scented Fan raining shots down from the high ground? Pamstow and Fatch, they're chilling.
Yeah, all the while, they just have their eyes on the Victory Royale here, waiting for that big splash banner to come through and the win to announce their names. They're not looking to take any risk here. They're sitting back, allowing the action to go down at the bottom. And that's a two-handed, two-pointed sword right there, right? On one side, you can try to earn points to play consistent. On the other side, you have the win condition waiting for you. Players like Avery now have to go way inside. This is a big clutch for him. Those are points earned. Players are dropping left and right here, but there's still a battle between them and the win here. And Scented Fan and Chubbs are saying, out with the old guard, in with the new. They're trying to get this dub right now, and they are still coasting. Pamstow and Fatch, however, are fighting every team on every layer, and they're winning left and right here. Look at Pam go. He is not stopping.
And now it's a 2v2, but Monster, 11 eliminations, and even if they don't get the Victory Royale, they're nearly double the pace of the points right now that they need. And you can see Chubbs and Scented Fan, Pamstow and Fatch, a spot in the finals in NA East. Two teams who most assuredly feel they should be there and have played their best in this match, but we're pulling out over the grass, and like we said, it is on fire. The 2v2 is about to pop off. Chubbs and Scented Fan are out of mass. They're gonna have to go down. Pamstow pokes his head up, but he gets whacked it down like an unruly whack-a-mole. Notch goes for the finish, and he loses the fight. Chubbs rebuffs